Hello everyone, this is Sono College. Let me explain about the SPI Outline Deep Dive Lecture. Many people find it difficult to prepare for the SPI exam. There are a few reasons for that. Most notably, there are certain textbooks people use to study. However, while these textbooks are very helpful for exam preparation, they contain an overwhelming amount of information. As those who have seen the books know, they are really thick. So studying all of this can feel quite burdensome. And in addition, since you study not only this book but also a variety of other learning materials, it actually takes even longer to go through all the materials. As a result, the reason people find preparing for the SPI exam difficult is because it takes a long time to study all the materials. But the biggest problem is that not everything in this book actually appears on the exam. However, since many people end up studying even the parts that won't appear on the exam, it ends up taking even more time. So now let me explain how you can study more efficiently. The material you see here is a content outline provided directly by RDMS. As the name suggests, this is a document that explains how the SPI exam will be structured. If you look at the content, it details which parts will have more weight on the exam and explains this thoroughly. So, to prepare for the exam efficiently, it's best to focus your studies on the topics that make up a larger portion of the test. You don't need to spend too much time on the parts that have less weight. By analyzing the content outline, you can create a study plan based on these factors. Next, let's take a look at the detailed items listed below. The SPI exam will be based on the content shown here. Therefore, rather than meticulously reviewing every single detail found within the entire book, it is actually considerably more effective and time efficient to concentrate your efforts specifically on the essential content included here. However, for those seeing the content outline for the first time, it may be difficult to predict exactly what kinds of questions will appear just by looking at this information. So, the lecture that explains each item in detail and describes the process of how questions will actually appear is what we call the SPI Outline Deep Dive Lecture. To summarize, this lecture analyzes the SPI content outline sentence by sentence and explains it in detail. After taking this lecture, you will be able to understand exactly what will be tested on the exam. This will allow you to set up an accurate study plan for what you need to focus on going forward. In this way, you can achieve the best results in the least amount of time. Even with a short period of preparation, you can adequately get ready for the SPI exam. Therefore, I would like to recommend this lecture to those who are currently preparing for the exam or considering taking the SPI exam in the future. With that, I have explained the SPI Outline Deep Dive Lecture. This concludes the introduction to the lecture. Thank you.